Okay, good day, nurses. For today's discussion, we will discuss the ABG interpretation. Okay? So we have here key information. Okay? If we are going to understand ABG, kailangan muna natin intindihin kung anong mga value na to, para saan to, anong affected na organ. Okay? Ganon. So our survival range for blood pH is 7.35 to 7.45. Okay, ito na talaga yung time na kailangan mong mag-memorize. Kasi you need to memorize these values. Okay? So, tatandaan mo lang na dapat ang ating blood pH, our survival range for our pH is between 7.35 to 7.45. Okay. Then, above or below this range, okay, the body needs to compensate to try to bring it back to the normal range. So, magko-compensate yung katawan mo. Dapat i-normalize niya. Kasi, matalino naman yung katawan natin, guys, ay gagawa at gagawa yan ng paraan. Then, we also have bicarbonate, our HCO3. Okay. Yan ay galing sa ating kidney. Now, our bicarbonate is based in nature and it is considered metabolic. While our CO2 instead, saan yan nanggagaling? Sa ating lungs. That's our carbon dioxide. And our carbon dioxide is acidic in nature. That's why, saan siya nanggagaling? Sa ating lungs. It is considered respiratory. Okay? Those are the key information for us to understand ABG. Okay? Then, ito na talaga yung kailangan nating i-memorize. Hindi tayo makakatakas sa pag-memorize ng mga values. Okay? So, you need to memorize this by heart. Okay? Your pH is what? 3 tuloy. Again, our pH is 7.35 to 7.45. Okay. Now, our CO2, our carbon dioxide, it ranges from 35 to 45. And our bicarbonate, it ranges from 22 to 28. Okay, ito ay ginagamit sa ibang bansa. Okay, but dito sa Pilipinas, ang ginagamit is 22 to 26. So, alam ko na yung tanong mo, ma'am, ano dan ang susundin namin? Okay, so since we are here in the Philippines, okay, the Philippine base ang gagamitin natin. But, for some questions, nagbibigay sila ng sobrang malayo dyan sa range na yan. Hindi siya sobrang malapit sa 28 or hindi siya sobrang lapit sa 26. Okay? Now, para matandaan mo, okay, medyo mabilis na shortcut, di ba? Alam mo na ang pH is 7.35 to 7.45. Tanggalin mo lang itong 7 point para alam mo na ang carbon dioxide carbon dioxide or CO2 is from 35 to 45. Okay? Then the HCO3 is 22 to 28 or 22 to 26. Okay, pH. Okay? Philippines. Okay? Now, next. We have 3 steps for us to get the right ABG interpretation. Okay, number 1. Okay, first step is we need to identify if the pH, okay, if the pH is acidic or alkalotic. Okay, that's the number 1 step. Then second, okay, we need to determine if it's metabolic or respiratory. Kung anong problema, is it the kidney or the lungs? Okay, then lastly, we will determine if it's compensated or uncompensated. Ma'am, ano bang ibig mong sabihin dyan sa compensation na yan? Okay, ang gusto kong iparealize, guys, is ibig sabihin ba, nag-try ba yung katawan mo to at least fix the problem, to at least fix the acid-base imbalance. Okay? Kasi ang problema yan, guys, either ang problema ay ang kidney or either ang may problema ay ang lungs. So, ibig sabihin to, guys, kailangan magkaibigan sila. Kapag ito ang may problema, kapag si kidney ang problema, dapat tulungan siya ni lungs. And vice versa. Kapag si respiratory ang may problema or si lungs, dapat tulungan siya ni kidney. Okay? Yun yung masasabi mong kung nag-compensate or hindi. If it's compensated or not compensated or partially compensated. Okay? Next. Okay. Let's move on to the steps. Okay, step 1. Anong step 1 natin? We need to determine if the pH is acidotic or alkalotic. Okay. So, anong normal value natin sa pH? We have 7.35 to 7.45. Okay. Anything below 7.35, pag ganito yung arrow, below 7.45, it is considered acidotic. Okay. Then, anything, okay, above 7.45, pag ganito yung arrow, meaning it is base or alkalotic. Now, the perfect range for your pH is 7.4. Okay, ito yung pinaka-perfect, pinaka-gitna. Okay, so beyond 7.4 is considered acidotic and above 7.4 is considered alkalotic. Okay, that's the first step. We need to determine if it's acidic or alkalotic. Okay, now, we have here example. Okay, this one. The pH is 7.23. Ano yan? Is it acidotic or alkalotic? Since it is below 7.4, it is considered what? It is considered acidotic. Okay? Next. Another. We have here, pH is 7.62. Okay. it is above 7.4. So meaning it is what? Alkalotic, greater than 7.4. Okay, next. Okay, we have here another example. The pH is 7.43. Okay, ano this? This is acidic or alkalotic? It is alkalotic, greater than 7.4. Okay, and it is just compensated kapag 7.4. Okay? Okay, I hope na-gets na. Yung first step natin is determining whether it is acidic or alkalotic yung pH natin. Okay? Next step, second step, we need to identify if it's metabolic or respiratory in problem. Okay, ano sabi natin kanina? Na ang metabolic ay, anong responsible na organ? It is our kidney. And our respiratory, anong responsible na organ dyan? It is our lungs. Okay, now we have here CO2 problem. Saan galing yan CO2? Or carbon dioxide sa lungs natin. So, it is respiratory. Kapag bicarb problem naman, saan galing yan? Sa ating kidney. It is metabolic. Now, we have here cases why a patient experiencing respiratory acidosis, respiratory alkalosis, metabolic acidosis, and metabolic alkalosis. Isa-isahin natin yan, okay? Ang mga cases kung bakit ang patient ay merong imbalance or acid-base imbalance na respiratory acidosis is ibig sabihin, guys, sobrang dami ng CO2 sa kanyang katawan. Ibig sabihin, nare-retain niya ang CO2 sa kanyang katawan. Okay? Yan yung tatandaan mo. This is your clue for respiratory acidosis. Too much CO2. Ano yung mga cases na ganyan? We have here hypoventilation, overdose, COPD, and asthma. Bakit po, ma'am? Because, guys, these cases, hirap silang tanggalin or i-breathe out ang CO2. So, ibig sabihin ba yan, ma'am, nare-retain nila sa katawan nila yan? Yes. Okay, kapag nare-retain yung CO2 sa katawan mo, anong tawag doon? That's your hypercapnia. Gets? Okay. Dito, guys, for example, nag-hypoventilate si patient. O, di ba? Ganon. Hindi niya natatanggal na blow off masyado yung CO2, nare-retain siya. Okay? Dahil there is a more hydrogen ions. Okay? Pag malala mo sa chemistry mo. Okay? More hydrogen ions are being produced. Okay? Making the blood what? Acidic, di ba? So, example of this, hypoventilation, overdose. Ma'am, anong overdose yan? Pwedeng opioid overdose kasi you know that opioids can depress our respiration, di ba? So that's are the cases na si patient ay makaka-experience ng respiratory acidosis. Second, we have respiratory alkalosis. So, ang nangyayari naman dito, guys, is there is not enough CO2. Kabaliktaran nito, kanina too much, ito not enough CO2. Ibig sabihin mo ba, ma'am, kulang ang carbon dioxide nila sa kanilang katawan? Yes, definitely yes. Kailan nangyayari yan? Kapag si patient ay nagha-hyperventilate. Kailan ba nagha-hyperventilate si patient? During panic attacks. Diba? Paano sila huminga? Diba? Mabilis, rapid, and shallow breathing. Like, ganon. So, ibig sabihin na blow off nila too fast lahat ng CO2. That's why kulang na sila ng CO2 sa kanilang katawan. That's why ang kanilang imbalance ay respiratory alkalosis. Okay? Nagigets? Yes. Madali lang siyang intindihin. How about sa ating metabolic acidosis? Okay. Ibig sabihin naman dyan, guys, not enough HCO3. Kulang ang bicarb sa kanyang katawan. Or the patient has 2 liter bicarbonate. Okay, alam naman natin, guys, na ang ating bicarbonate, it's our body's major base. Diba? Base siya in nature. So, ano yung mga cases na nawawalan tayo ng HCO3? Okay, kapag meron kang problema sa kidney, kapag you have renal disease, like what? CKD or acute kidney injury. Okay, kasi kapag may sakit ka sa kidney, ibig sabihin lang yan, guys, your kidney cannot regenerate o hindi siya makapag-produce ng bicarbonate. Okay, ano pa? Loss of bicarb. Due to what? Due to severe diarrhea. Na ilalabas mo lahat ng HCO3. Okay? O, sabi ng lecturer namin noon, guys, para matandaan daw namin na ang diarrhea ay metabolic acidosis. Di ba? Pag nagtatae ka daw, anong sinasabi mo? Ganun. So, metabolic acidosis. Okay? Yun yung shortcut niya. While pag vomiting naman, guys, it is considered metabolic alkalosis. Okay, kasi pag nag-vomit ka, sabi mo, auk, lalabas sa bunga mo, auk, ganoon. Kaya siya, metabolic alkalosis. Okay? That's trick para mas matandaan siya. Okay? But for metabolic alkalosis naman, guys, ang problema naman dyan, there is too much HCO3. Okay, madaming bicarb sa kanyang katawan. Nag-gain siya ng madaming bicarbonates. Okay? For example, may cases, okay, na-overdose ka, meron ka maraming sodium bicarb, or kaya nag-take ka ng antacid. O, di ba, ang antacid is anti-acid to neutralize acid in your body. O, imagine guys, kapag na-neutralize yung acid sa katawan mo, ano na lang maiiwan? Your bicarbonate. Kaya ang magiging acid-base balance mo is metabolic alkalosis. Kasi na-neutralize mo lahat ng acid mo sa katawan. O, another example, sa vomiting. Okay, nagsuka ka. Okay, saan galing yung suka mo? Sa tiyan, di ba? Ano yung acid na nasa stomach natin? Our hydrochloric acid. O magsuka ka, ilabas mo lahat ng hydrochloric acid mo. Ano na lang may iwan? It's your HCO3. Kaya nga, vomiting, metabolic alkalosis. I hope you get my point, guys. Okay? So, dito, sa respiratory acidosis, ang tandaan mo lang dyan, you can't breathe out. Hindi mo mailabas ang CO2. While sa respiratory alkalosis, okay, you are breathing too fast para ma-blow off mo yung CO2. Then sa metabolic acidosis, okay, either you lose bicarbonate. And sa metabolic alkalosis naman, you gain bicarbonate. Okay? Next. Ang dami nating sinabi. Diba? Ang second step natin is to determine if it's metabolic or respiratory. Okay? Ang tatandaan natin dyan, yung value ng CO2 and HCO3. Okay guys, anong value ng ating CO2? It is 35 to 45. At babalik ta rin natin yan. Dito mo isulat ang 45, dito mo isulat ang 35. Para lahat ng nasa side dito, acidotic siya. Papunta sa side dito, alkalotic. So, ibig sabihin yan guys, if greater than 45 ang kanyang CO2, ibig sabihin it is acidic. Okay? Acidotic. Kapag less than 35 ang kanyang CO2, meaning it is alkalotic. Okay? Huwag kayong malilito doon. Sa HCO3 naman natin, if it's lower than 22, meaning it is acidotic. Then higher than 28 or higher than 26, ibig sabihin alkalotic siya. Okay? We have here examples. Okay? In this example, okay, yung CO2 niya, too much, sobrang dami, greater than 45, di ba? So, it is considered respiratory. Okay? Normal. Okay? Ano yung ganun niya, pH niya, acidotic din. Next, we have here another example. Okay, yung bicarbonate niya sobrang dami, greater than 26 or greater than 28. So, it is base in nature, it is considered alkalotic. Okay, metabolic. Then, last step or third step, we determine if it's compensated or uncompensated. Okay, so guys, kailangan yung screenshot to kasi dapat matandaan nyo to. Okay, now, natin dito sa side when determining if it's compensated or uncompensated. Now, our pH, guys, tandaan mo na kapag within normal range ang pH natin, anong normal range ng ating pH? Again, it is what? 7.35 to 7.45. Kapag yan, nasa normal range ang ating pH, ibig sabihin lang yan, guys, fully compensated siya. O yun na, kaagad ang tatandaan mo. Okay? Fully compensated. And okay, again, ulit guys, yung normal pala muna tayo dito sa part. Okay, kapag ang pH mo ay normal, kapag ang kapag ang bicarb at carbon dioxide mo ay normal, ibig sabihin, normal ang balance mo. Normal lahat normal. Okay? Now, dito naman, kapag ang pH mo is normal, within normal range, within 7.35 to 7.45, pero ang CO2 mo at HCO3 mo is within abnormal range. Wala siya sa normal range, within abnormal range. Ibig sabihin lang yan, guys, one is causing the problem and the other has to fix the problem para masabi nating fully compensated. Ma'am, paano yan? Hindi ko magets. Okay. For example, guys, si CO2 ang problema. Okay, si CO2 ang problema. Anong sinabi ko kanina? Magkaibigan sila, magtutulungan. Okay? Dapat si bicarb magiging abnormal siya, abnormal range para masabing tinulungan niya si carbon dioxide, tinulungan niya si lungs, tinulungan niya si CO2. Okay? Then masasabi mo siyang fully compensated. Okay? What about, baliktarin natin. Okay, ma'am, paano kapag si bicarb ang problema? Para masabi natin fully compensated, dapat tutulong si lungs, si CO2. Dapat magiging within abnormal range siya kasi siya ang tutulong. Okay? That's, masasabi natin na fully compensated siya. Again, dapat normal ang pH, isa sa kanila ay abnormal, then fully compensated. Okay? Then dito, ma'am, paano na naman kapag ang pH ay abnormal? Okay? Kapag ang pH ay abnormal, and ang CO2 and HCO3 ay abnormal din, ibig sabihin guys, partially compensated siya. Okay, dito, one is causing a problem and the other is fixing the problem. Ganun ulit, if ever man na si CO2 ang problema, magko-compensate si HCO3 para i-fix somehow yung problema. But take note guys, ang pH niya dito is abnormal, kaya siya partially compensated. And vice versa. Kapag si HCO3 naman ang problema, tutulong si CO2. Magiging within abnormal range siya. Okay? Kasi tinatry niyang i-fix ang problema. Partially compensated siya kasi abnormal ang pH. Okay. Ma'am, paano naman kapag uncompensated? Ano ang nangyayari sa mga values? Okay, ibig sabihin lang yan guys, ang pH ay abnormal, ang CO2 and HCO3 ay both abnormal. Okay, that's the time you will call it uncompensated. Ma'am, bakit po? Kasi guys, kung ang problema for example, CO2, tapos hindi nag-compensate si HCO3, hindi siya naging abnormal range, within normal range siya. Ibig sabihin, trinay niya bang i-fix yung problema? Definitely no. Kaya siya uncompensated. Baliktarin natin. Ang HCO3 naman is ang problema. Tapos si CO2, hindi siya gumawa ng paraan para i-fix niya yung problema. Nasa normal range pa rin siya. Ibig sabihin, hindi niya tinulungan si kidney. Then, matatawag natin siyang uncompensated. Okay, ma'am, nahihirapan po akong i-gets. May other way pa po ba para ma-gets ko yan kung fully compensated, partially compensated, or uncompensated? Yes, meron pa. We discuss the value basis. Okay, let's discuss the value basis. Okay? Now, value basis. Ano yung mga value natin? We have the pH, the 7.35 to 7.45. Our CO2 is 35 to 45. Then our HCO3 is 22 to 26. Okay, ganito guys. Anong sabi ko kanina? If the pH is within normal range, the CO2 is within normal range, the CO3 is within normal range, ibig sabihin, normal. Okay. Now, paano natin malalaman kung partially compensated, fully compensated, or uncompensated? Okay. If all values are abnormal, abnormal si pH, abnormal si CO2, abnormal si HCO3, ibig sabihin, partially compensated. If all values are within abnormal range, ibig sabihin, partially compensated. Now, paano yung uncompensated? If the pH is abnormal, one is normal and one is abnormal, either these two. Okay, ulitin ko, kapag si pH ay abnormal, isa sa kanila ay within normal range at isa sa kanila ay within abnormal range, ibig sabihin, it is uncompensated. Again, if pH is abnormal range, one is normal and one is abnormal between CO2 and bicarb, ibig sabihin, it is uncompensated. Now, let's have an example, okay, for you to understand and appreciate it. Okay, ito yung summary. Okay, di ba tatlo yung step natin? Number 1, we need to determine if it's acidotic or alkalotic, yung pH. Then number 2, second step, determining if it's metabolic or respiratory problem. Then lastly, we need to identify if it's compensated or uncompensated. Okay? Now, next, we have here the example. We will use the Rome method. Okay, we will use the Rome method. But I want you to take a screenshot on this one, guys. Okay, para sa mga visual learners na kailangan ng mga pattern kasi we will use the arrow up and the arrow down pattern. Okay, para mas mabilis ang ating buhay. Okay, now, we have here the example. We will use the Rome method. Okay, ROM stand for respiratory opposite, metabolic equal. Okay, dapat daw guys, kung respiratory ang problem, yung arrow up or arrow down, dapat opposite. Okay, then metabolic is equal. Either ganyan or either ganyan. Parang yung nasa illustration. Okay, now, let's have an example. Okay, hindi ko na-erase. Nag-klase kasi ako kanina. Okay, for example, the pH is 7.62. Ano yan? Arrow up or arrow down? Arrow up kasi it is greater than 7.4. The CO2, 14. Arrow up or arrow down? Arrow down, less than 35 siya. And our bicarbonate, 18. Ano yan? Arrow up or arrow down? Arrow down kasi it is considered what? Less than 22. Okay, sa pH natin, 7.62. Ano yan? Metabolic? Metabolic tuloy? Acidotic? Alkalotic? O, it's greater than 7.4, then ibig sabihin, it is alkalotic. Diba? Number 1 step yan, diba? We need to determine if it's alkalotic or acidosis. Okay, now, anong problema? Gagamitin na natin ngayon ang Rome method. Anong sabi natin? Respiratory, opposite, metabolic, equal. Okay, respiratory, arrow up. Okay, opposite ba siya ng ating pH? Yung isa pataas, yung isa pababa? Yes, then it is considered respiratory. Kaya isusulat mo dyan, respiratory alkalotic. Our third step, we determine if compensated or uncompensated. Okay, anong pH niya? Within normal range, abnormal range? Abnormal range. The CO2, ano? Abnormal din. The bicarb, 18, within abnormal range. So, abnormal. So, ibig sabihin, all are within abnormal range. Ano siya? Partially compensated. Okay? Again, next. Next, we have here the pH, 7.23, arrow up, arrow down, arrow down. Okay. Next, CO2, 67. Ano yan? Arrow up, arrow down, because it is greater than 45. Our bicarbonate, 28. O, normal siya. Normal. So, anong gagawin natin? Number 1 step, we need to determine if it's the pH is acidotic or alkalotic. Ano ang 7.23? Okay, it is considered acidotic. Then, we will use now the ROM method. Okay, ulit, respiratory, opposite, metabolic, equal. Okay, arrow up and arrow down. Opposite ba from each other? Yes, so it is considered respiratory. Okay, respiratory acidosis. Now, we will determine if it's compensated or uncompensated. Anong pH? Within abnormal range? Yes. The CO2 within abnormal range? Yes. The HCO3? Normal siya. So, anong ibig sabihin? Nag-compensate ba si kidney mo? Tinulungan niya ba si lungs mo? Hindi. So, it is uncompensated. Respiratory acidosis, uncompensated. I hope you are getting my point. Okay? Ganun siya, guys. Di ba madali lang? Okay, last example. Okay, ito. We have here the pH, 7.43. Ano yan? Arrow up or arrow down? Greater than what? Greater than 7.4, di ba? So, it is arrow up. Okay. It is arrow up. Then CO2, 57, greater than 45. So, ibig sabihin, arrow up. The bicarb, 42. Okay, arrow up, arrow down. Arrow up. Okay, number 1 step, determining if the pH is acidotic or alkalotic. pH, 7.45. Ano yan? Acidotic, alkalotic. Alkalotic. Lotic. Okay, alkalotic. Okay, now, gamitin natin yung ROM method. Anong sabi natin? Respiratory, opposite, metabolic, equal. Okay, respiratory, opposite ba? Hindi. Okay, this one is equal. Pareho silang arrow up. So, it is what? Metabolic. So, it is metabolic alkalosis. Third step, if it's compensated or uncompensated. Okay, pH 7.45. Normal, abnormal. Ano ang normal natin? 7.35 to 7.45. Normal. Okay, the CO2, 57. Okay, abnormal. O, the HCO3, 42. Ano yan? 22 to 26 tayo or 22 to 28, diba? So, abnormal. So, ano nangyari? pH, normal. Ano nang gagawin natin? It is what? Partially compensated or fully compensated? Now, you send me the answer. Okay? For me to know kung talagang umabot ka na nakinig dito sa discussion ko. Okay? That's all for our ABG interpretation. Okay? That's all for our ABG interpretation. I hope you learned something. Thank you and God bless. Okay?